Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Osama, and today Basit Khan is our guest. He's a senior product owner working in the automotive industry based in Berlin, and we both did our undergrad from the same university about almost a decade ago. So, with that, let's get right into it. How are you doing today?
Thanks, Osama. Thanks. First of all, thank you very much for having me on this podcast. And secondly, I'm doing great today. And a lot of memories while talking to you. It's been, I guess, more than a decade, like we last met. And yeah, so a lot of memories and a lot of stuff. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Osama.
Cool, no worries. So, with that, let's get started by me asking you about your role itself. So, what does the role of senior product owner entail?
Basically, Osama, if I put it out like a bridge between developers and the like stakeholders, so someone representing the business to development team and someone who is representing the team to the business. So it's something
Mhm.
like that in a nutshell. So things may get complicated. It's not as simple as it looks like
Mhm.
with a description, but yeah, so this is basically pretty much it. Yeah.
Right. So, in simple terms, if you were to describe the difference between being a project manager and being a product owner, what's
Mhm.
your take on that?
Being a product owner, if you ask me, I basically look for like more towards the business, right? Being a product manager, right? And as a product owner, I am responsible for the team day-to-day inactivity. So in that case, I will have to make myself available for the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that is fairly important for the product owner. That's one thing. And at the other side, product owner, actually, in my personal opinion or humble opinion, should serve as like servant leader for the team,
Mm-hmm.
where he is trying to facilitate the team to get things done. So sort of a leader in my opinion. So it's not like you are
Mm-hmm.
trying to like get things done by asking someone to do it. Yeah.
Right. Excellent. So, how did you develop an interest in this role?
Um, Basically, I never, you can say, planned to be exact to become a product owner the way I am today. So it was basically wherever the life takes me. So an interesting journey.
Mm-hmm.
Graduated as a telecommunication engineer, as you might know,
Yeah.
and then started my like professional career as a DevOps engineer. Followed by that, I have got the opportunity to work as a data integration consultant in data, and then eventually I got this opportunity to work as a business analyst in like one of the
Mm-hmm.
automotive startup, automotive AI
Mm-hmm.
in Berlin, right?
Yeah.
So, and from that, actually, basically from the business analyst role, I decided to grab this opportunity to work as a product owner, and eventually, like, I end up here as a senior product owner. So for me, the
Yeah.
main, you can say, inspiration or like the learning point in all this was like I was trying to always do like keep up the list of to dos and not to dos. So basically, whatever like things were going into the right direction done by my senior product managers or product
Mm-hmm.
owners. So I was trying to obviously opt that and something that must not be done. So I was trying to avoid that.
So, after you've started, working in this position, what kind of myths do you think have been busted for you? Yeah.
Basically, if you ask me, when we were working as a developer, we used to think that it is something like you have to like do some meetings, you don't have to like do a lot of work, and it's something like some easy job, right? But this is not the case. So
Yeah.
there comes a lot of responsibilities with this role. So you are basically not only responsible for the team, but you are responsible for the stakeholders as well. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people looking towards you, and for my friends over there from the fashion industry, I can refer to this particular
Yeah.
position as if I'm not wrong, as a showstopper in
Mm-hmm.
a like fashion walk, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, obviously this was a myth first of all, and secondly, like initially I used to think that PO cannot say no to the stakeholders. You have to work or act as your product owner, or sorry, or as your maybe CEO or the customer wants to do, but at times you need to have the will to defend the team in front of them as well.
Mm-hmm.
And initially or before like getting into this role, I used to think that PO should be responsible for the performance of his or her team. But the way I can see it is that PO must allow the failure to happen to get to become to get the team self-sustainable, right? So
Yeah.
these were the two or three main myths basically I used to have
Yeah.
when I was not
Uh-huh.
the product owner.
Excellent, excellent. So by your thoughts, I can understand that this is more of a position where there's a lot of customer interaction, there's a lot of interaction with the core development teams within
Yeah.
the company. So tell me a little bit about how is the process of like negotiations with the upper management within your home turf. So let's say you talk to some customers, they have some certain requirements, and then you may need to get approval from the upper management. So how is that experience like for you?
So this is basically a very tricky question, and every now and then we end up in a situation where like our customer wants us to work on one of the feature, and then you have to convince your internal stakeholders that this is something we have to do it. Sometimes we have to do it for free as well.
Hmm.
So they actually, and obviously finance and
Yeah.
HR department and your business wants to bring in some more business because of the business change request and all that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then basically you have to get into the
Mm,
fundamentals or principles of the development. Maybe some people sometimes
mm,
call agile or something like that. So it
mm.
says basically customer collaboration over the contract negotiation. So
Yeah.
sometimes we use some technical terms like this to convince them, and sometimes we need to get them to this point where that this feature or the
Mm.
overall the product usage is nothing without this particular thing or add-on. So we
Yeah.
have to do it for free. So
Uh-huh.
sometimes we have to become the voice of the customer in front of
Yeah.
the team, in front of
Hmm.
the internal stakeholders as well.
Hmm.
And sometimes, obviously, you have to become the bad guy to
Yeah.
get things
Yeah.
in your direction or in the customer's direction. And
Yeah.
obviously, that should work in the longer run so that you prove to be right. Otherwise,
Hmm.
it
Yeah.
can be difficult for you.
Exactly. So were there any certifications that came in handy that would have helped you in your role as a product owner?
So I started with the professional Scrum Master certification from Scrum.org,
Hmm.
and then recently I did the SAFe Scaled
Hmm.
Agile Framework certification for PO and PM. So
Hmm.
that is very important. Other than that, I have followed a lot of LinkedIn learning trainings. So there are
Hmm.
quite a few handful trainings or like short courses out there that can help
Yeah.
the product owners to carry out their day in day out jobs very easily. Yeah.
Right, excellent. So let's say hypothetically speaking, if someone's starting fresh in the role of product owner, let's say someone got promoted to this role. So what kind of competency should they develop in order to be successful in this role eventually?
So if you ask me, the most important thing for me is to have the ability to get along with the people. You need to understand that what your stakeholders might be thinking, how to
Hmm.
deal or negotiate with the internal and external stakeholders,
Hmm.
how to negotiate with the customer. So obviously, usually it is said that customer is always right, but in the real life, this is not the case. And
Yeah.
then you have to tell them that this is where we might need to negotiate over the expected results.
Hmm.
So that is how we actually discussing initially. And at the same time, when it comes to talking to your internal development team, so it is something not so we are far from the revolutionary hierarchical management area where
Yeah.
we used to have some boss and he used to direct everyone I need this and that.
Hmm.
So this is the technical worker hierarchical, you can say, management right now. So you have to get into those
Hmm.
developers as well, and then you need to
Hmm.
make sure that everything is working smoothly.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. So how's the work-life balance situation for you? Considering the fact that you're a parent and you are in some sort of senior leadership position, how does it look like for you?
So here actually I am a little bit fan of Jeff Bezos. What he said is that it's not about the work-life balance; it's about the harmony of work and life, right?
Hmm.
So if I am very good at my work and I am happy with the work I am doing at it excites me, then I think I am going to be a good father. It helps me like a good husband, and it
Yeah.
helps me maybe a good son as well. So points like these basically help me, first of all, to
Hmm.
keep me excited at work and at the same time keep me excited at home as well. So for me, getting up to the office and if I really enjoy doing something, then
Yeah.
obviously the number of hours does not matter in that case. And
Yeah.
then if you are an IT professional, and I guess we are far from the 9 to 6 culture right now.
Exactly. So do you have any cool traditions at work?
Yeah, quite a few. So first of
Mm-hmm.
all, with the passage of time, we have learned
Mm-hmm.
that never try to investigate anything. Like let's say, if we have some sort of a problem, instead of like started looking for a culprit, like that's what usually people do, that why it
Mm-hmm.
happened. So we start looking for the solution. So this is
Mm-hmm.
what we have opted for. And then what this helps us actually basically get to the solution more quickly than compared to the like the way we have been doing it before. That's one thing.
Right.
And secondly, like the activities, football matches and all that. So this is, I think, pretty normal. And on the events, like we used to have giveaways and breakfast every now and then. And at the same time, we try to make sure that we like have a culture or it's some sort of a organizational DNA where we try to say thank you. Let's
Yeah.
say if I think or I believe I am going to have some sort of like conflict with someone, then we will try to like maybe pass me this particular thing, and then I will say thank you. So this basically tries to break down the ice or something like that. So that is how actually we
Uh-huh.
try to like run the things.
Right, cool. So transitioning a little bit from the career side towards your formal education. So walk us through about how your experience was in your undergrad, and do you have a master's, or do you plan on getting one, and maybe even a PhD or an MBA? What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so if you ask me, so my alma mater is the same as yours. So it is
Mm-hmm.
fast, and I was like studying in Lahore, Pakistan, and I did my undergrad as a like telecommunication engineer, and
Mm-hmm.
basically whatever I am today and whatever I am going to be in future. So
Mm-hmm.
it's all because fast.
Mm-hmm.
So apart from the traditional education
Mm-hmm.
where you have to like work around with your credits and
Mm-hmm.
all that, so fast will basically help you, or fast helps me basically understand like how to get things done. So we used to
Yeah.
have a lot of societies over there, and then we used to like take part. And the good thing about that institute was that the involvement of the faculty members were very limited, right?
Mm-hmm.
So student bodies have to take the ownership of the events, and then you have to like arrange the sponsors, you have to arrange everything on your own. So those things basically help me understand that
Mm-hmm.
how to like we are all social animals, right? So how
Mm-hmm.
to get along with the people, so how to
Yeah.
work with your seniors, how to like collaborate with your juniors and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it was a really interesting journey during my undergraduation, and at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, few of the teachers were there who told me that if you are an engineering grad, then there is nothing
Mm-hmm.
you cannot do. So
Yeah.
if I recall it back, so I graduated as an engineer and starting my journey into the
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, IT field, it was a different thing, but still it was not a challenge because our
Yeah.
mindset was right and it was developed in such a way.
Yeah.
And moving on to the master's question, I always have this wish to do it, but
Mm-hmm.
fortunately or unfortunately, I got the job right after my undergrad,
Yeah.
and since then it's been like one responsibility over the other, and I
Yeah.
never got the opportunity to do it. But right now, I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
for some programs where I can continue my studies along with my job itself. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be cool. So, if I may ask you about specializing in a certain field, so do you see yourself leaning more towards the business side of things, let's say an MBA, or would you rather get a PhD to develop your technical skills even further?
So if you ask me, like I would rather try like to like specify my knowledge more towards the automotive domain right now.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, for first like 7 or 8 years of my career, 7 years in fact of my career, I
Mm-hmm.
was like very limited about like very limited exposure about the automotive industry.
Yeah.
But eventually, the way things developed for me was that like when I came to Germany, so I
Mm-hmm.
saw a lot of like cool things happening over here. So
Mm-hmm.
here we have in my current company, we are working with Continental, we are working with like you can say Daimler. We are trying to like
Mm-hmm.
get in discussions with Huawei Group, Audi, and all that,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the thing is that I would like to develop my technical expertise in this
Yeah.
domain, automotive domain, and then try to like be someone who can lead an end-to-end project, some big one, maybe
Mm-hmm.
a CTO at Daimler one day, something like that.
Yeah, for sure, man. Of course, as far as you can dream it, you can achieve it.
Yeah,
Um,
hopefully one day.
so other than that, I'm very eager to, or typically I ask everyone I talk to. So, what are the core values that you live by as a professional and even as a human being, other than your professional life?
So, the first thing that I learned over the passage of time is that criticism is not a good thing. So,
Mm-hmm.
criticism is like, you can say, they are homing pigeons, right? So, if I criticize anyone, then obviously it is going to get back to me. So,
Yeah.
second, that's one thing I try to live by. And secondly, if I have to get anything done by even my son, my one of my colleague or one of the team member I'm working with, so I have to motivate him to do it himself, right? Otherwise, there is
Mm.
no way that I can get it done. So these
Yeah.
two or three things actually, basically, I try to adapt, and then if you try to implement these, you can say uh, properly, then these can help you a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Um, so, in your opinion, now that you've worked in the Pakistani market, you worked in the international market as well. So, in your experience and opinion, what do you think should be traits of a good leader?
So, first of all, a good leader always looks forward,
Mm-hmm.
and no matter how like bad the situation is, you have to like find a way out of it. And a good leader, or specifically for the projects I work with,
Mm-hmm.
should act like an umbrella. So if there is something coming good, your team, your way, always pass it on to the team. And if it's something that is not good
Mm-hmm.
and you think that it must be filtered out, then you must be able to like have it on your own. So this is something, in my opinion, very important for the like technical, you can say, or maybe from non-technical as well. And from the leadership perspective, another thing I have noted is that if you try to understand the way you are working with your people, right? So try to understand and put yourself in the shoes of your like development team, then
Mm-hmm.
obviously you can understand them better, and then that helps you do marvels altogether.
Right,
So,
that's pretty cool. So what's your definition of success?
so for me, success is to build an environment with your team where you can work collaboratively all together, and your team members don't find it difficult to leave the bed on Monday morning. And at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, when they are calling the
Mm-hmm.
work, so they have enough energy left to spend with their family. So this is
Yeah,
success for me.
excellent. Also, what's your take on mentorship, and were there any mentors that guided you throughout your professional journey?
Yes. So mentorship, obviously, when I started my career, I got an opportunity to work with
Mm-hmm.
a very good project manager over there.
Mm-hmm.
So he was in Netsol, and his name is Faizan. So I definitely wanted to be someone like him in like 10 years or something like that. So I'm not sure where I'm here that
Mm-hmm.
fast yet, but still, I think I made a like good progress in that context. And as the time goes by, obviously your mentors and your targets change. So you keep on talking to your mentors, and obviously there are times when I ask this question to myself. So let's say if I am in this situation, how I will or how he will react, right? So in
Mm-hmm.
the same situation. So this is something I think my mentors are really helped me like in every phase of my career. And right now, if you ask me, I am trying to follow someone, but obviously he does not know because yeah, he's begged someone like from the automotive industry. So I am talking about Sajad Khan over here. So he retired last year as a CTO of Mercedes Benz and one of the department,
Ah.
and obviously he has a big name. So he came
Was
from
was he the
Pakistan.
guy who speaks fluent German as well?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Aha,
yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. I remember seeing one of his videos on YouTube. Yeah, it was pretty inspiring. Because I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
learning Deutsch is not easy either. And he was
So yeah,
pretty
he
fluid.
came to Germany, I guess, somewhere in 2000. But again, a lot of people came even before him. But still,
Mm,
the impression on the industry which he has left, it's awesome, right? So he
yeah.
has like
Well, he has raised the
revolutionized
bar for
overall.
everyone.
Exactly. But for me, actually, if you ask
Yeah.
me, so he is still 48, I guess. So I have very limited time to get there, but I think he came far. And honestly speaking, if
Yeah.
I get there by 58, even then that would be is going to be a thing for me.
Yeah, yeah, of course, it's gonna be a big win
Yeah, yeah,
whenever that happens.
yes,
All
yes,
right,
yes.
I want to ask you a little bit about your transition. And again, it's not really just about your professional life, but since you moved with your family from Pakistan to altogether a different country, which has a very different culture than we have, and they don't even speak the language that we learn to speak other than our mother tongue. So, how was your experience blending in over there, and how's it going overall for you?
So once my family like joined in August 2020, then first few months were again a little bit tricky or difficult, I must say. So my child who is like 5.5, at that time like we have some like difficulty while like trying to adjust with this change.
Mm-hmm.
And if I like talk to myself today, I think things are going in the right direction.
Okay.
Uh, where like we have quite a few friends over here. One of my younger brother is in Berlin as well, so we have like almost 20 to 30 families community. We know quite a few people
Oh, that's
in the
nice.
surroundings. So that is good. But
Yeah.
again, from the German integration perspective, unfortunately, I am not
Yeah.
good at it at all till now. I My German
Yeah.
language level is still very elementary,
Yeah.
and like my son will start his school in August.
Yeah.
Maybe then I guess we will start having some proper
Yeah.
integration and all that. But still,
Yeah.
I really like the culture over here. First of all, like nobody will like say you anything, whatever you want to do. You have your like own will, and at the same time, I think the freedom of expression, freedom of choice, everything
Yeah.
is there. So,
Yeah.
and the cultural diversity is like accepted to maybe Berlin is
Yeah.
an international city, so that
Yeah.
is why. But I really find it very like amazing
Yeah.
over here till now. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's excellent. And definitely you can't put a price on these things that we get in the western side of the world. That is pretty fascinating. So other than that, what things excite you in life in general?
So, first of all, like opportunity to have a long sleep, maybe 16 to 18 hours in one day. So,
Yeah.
in when I was young, I used to have like quite a few spells like that, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, things are not like that. I have to wait for at least
Yeah.
5 to 6 weeks or maybe a couple of weekends for that. And the second thing is that I need to like maybe drive, long drive, or maybe
Yeah.
going far distances by driving. So not
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
train or like by airplane, so by
Yeah.
driving, yeah. So these two
Oh,
things
how
really
was your
excite me.
experience driving on the autobahn over there? Like the first time I was driving over there, if I were to use literally one word to describe it, it was I would say it was thrilling. It was like it had a lot of adrenaline in that moment, and it was what's the right word for it? I'm forgetting. It's about the speed. Anyways, we'll come back to that later. But in short, it was very thrilling. Like you just floor the car. You don't
Oh
have
yes.
to worry about what the speed limit is. As far as you were driving safe, I mean, it was very, very, very nice. I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
almost loved it.
German autobahn basically, I think
Yeah,
it's one of the marvel in the world,
yeah,
and I am like
yeah,
I really enjoyed my like drives over here. So you can say,
yeah,
and obviously you have to keep yourself active as well a lot because suddenly there is going to be 100 kilometer per hour range as well. If there
yeah.
is any
Exactly.
exit or entry ramp, then obviously you have to
Yeah,
adapt to that. So it's not like you just
yeah.
floor it down and then just bang. So and
It's
at the
about
same time,
having that flexibility, like
yes.
you can avail it whenever. You don't necessarily have to drive at 300 kilometers per hour
Oh
all the
yes.
time, but it's just about that choice that you can do it whenever you want. That is pretty
So
nice.
one thing I would like to mention is
Yeah,
that when I was first traveling on the autobahn, I was driving a four-way Golf, and it was somewhere around 210 or 220 kilometers, and I was like
yeah,
I'm on top of the world, and who is going to overtake me from here, right? So
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
suddenly there was a little bit of pressure from this side, and there was this zoom.
Exactly. So
Someone
that
came,
that's the beauty of it, right? It does
yeah,
not matter what car you drive, even if you
yes,
have a Lamborghini or whatever. There's
oh yes.
always gonna be someone faster than you.
Exactly, exactly. So in my like may guess
Yeah,
it was somewhere around 350 or something like that, and the pressure like it built me, it was really like I was
yeah,
driving some sort of like a very
yeah,
small vehicle on an autobahn or like, and then
Yeah.
literally tilt a little bit because
Yeah.
of the like pressure it
Yeah.
exerted on my car.
Yeah. And honestly, one of the myths that I think had been busted for me over there was that it just seems very cinematic. I would say if you look at it on the screen, let's say Formula One drivers driving at those high speeds all the time. But honestly, as a normal person, if you are not too much into fitness either, you can drive more than like 10 to 15 minutes at those speeds because everything is just zooming or zapping past you, and you can't even see anything. It's just about paying so much attention on the road and
Yes.
keeping your hands firm on the steering that you as a normal human being, I'd say you would just want to slow down at that point.
So basically, Osama, I guess what they
Yeah,
do is that exactly for the reason that you mentioned,
yeah.
and on top of it, you lose the feel for speed as well. Like after
Ah,
20 or 30 minutes driving, you will
yeah,
it is going to be a normal thing, and then at that speed, a very
yeah.
like limited mistake or very small mistake can get you off the road as well. So what they do
Exactly.
is that after every 10, 15 or 20
Yeah,
minutes patch, there is
yeah,
some sort of like speed limit area as well. So they will
yeah,
make sure that you go to 100 or 80 kilometer per hour, and
yeah,
like
yeah,
coming down from 300,
yeah.
it looks like you are doing nothing. So then you will realize, okay, I
Exactly.
was like, it was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, considering how much tech integration I would say they have over there to implement all of these regulations, was that me and another friend, we were driving over there, and unfortunately he got a ticket. And although we don't even live there, we live in Canada. Like 3 months later, we actually got the ticket.
Nice.
So we were pretty amazed. I was like, we have to pay, I guess.
So basically, yeah, that's where I think it is really interesting for me because right now I
Yeah,
am in automotive industry and like my company, and we are trying to play our role in expediting the autonomous driving stuff as well, right?
yeah,
So that is where you talk about the lane keep function, that you talk about the emergency braking, you talk
yeah,
about the like safety functions as well, and then you talk
yeah,
about all the functions working collaboratively to get you to
yeah,
L3 or L4 level,
yeah.
where you just simply sit back and relax. So
Hmm.
that is where I think it gets very interesting for us as well. And
Yeah,
I am I'm very proud of the work actually my company and obviously my team has been working to like get things expedited at least, right? So
yeah.
we actually are trying to like create a like replica or digital twin of the world where actually they can test all the scenarios in the like real world. Yeah.
Yeah,
In the
excellent.
simulation, sorry, synthetic environment.
Yeah, I'm sure that that's pretty cool to even think about it. But I mean, someone who knows what's going on over there, I mean, you can understand the nitty gritties and how much work there is
Oh,
to be
yes.
put into it. So just deviating a little bit off tangent. So if given a superpower in the world, what challenges or problems that are not addressed yet that you would want to tackle?
So, very interesting question, first of all. And I would like to like work on the uh, climate change, first of all.
Hmm.
And secondly, distribution of wealth.
That's an important
So,
one. Yeah.
yeah, I think these two,
Yeah.
if we can get these right, a lot of problems can be fixed automatically.
Yeah. Excellent. So I'll close off by my last question, Basit. If knowing what you know right now, what do you think you would have done differently?
Well, obviously, where I am today, it was like not planned at all. Nothing was planned. So,
Hmm.
and so there are no regrets in my life
Yeah.
till today. So in that case, I think
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done anything differently. But again, when have to choose my undergrad
Hmm.
degree, it was a choice between computer science and the
Hmm.
telecommunication engineer.
Hmm.
So I might have gone for the computer science, and even then I wanted to do it. But there was,
Hmm.
you can say, will from my father that he wants one of his son to be an engineer. So that is
Hmm.
why I picked it. So I think even
Yeah.
then in this field, in this regard, like no regret at all. So, and you know the
Excellent.
butterfly
Yeah.
effect.
Yeah, 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 of course, I get it. Well, I had a great time talking to you, Basit. Thank you so much once again for having some time spare to sit down and have a chat with us. And I hope the content would be useful for our audience as well. This podcast is going to be hosted on all major platforms, and if you like the content, please feel free to share it with your friends and family, and show your support by buying me a coffee, for which I'll provide a link in the description. So until the next episode, stay tuned and take care of yourself. Bye.